Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Matters podcast. My name is Anthony Walker, the H, the E to the A to the D. On today's show I talk Raw, SmackDown and TNA since it's back and give my views and opinions in the world of professional wrestling as I always do. Plus, a little quick promotion as well. And also, speaking of promotions, I'm going to kick off the show with an announcement. That's right, an announcement. Now, you're probably thinking, what announcement's this, Walker? Well, I'll tell you. 1 week from today, today's January 19th. 1 week from today, January 26th, my website is getting published. That's right, my website will be released. theheadanthonywalker.weebly.com. That's right. You will see on there, you will see all sorts of stuff. You will see the podcasts. You will see my Games Matter project, my Games Matter channel. You know, game footage and whatnot on there as well. Promotions from other places that I'm going to, or places that want me to put their stuff on there as well to help them, get their stuff out there as well. Other podcast projects, and various other stuffs as well. Maybe a few interview segments as well. All the good stuff that involves me is going to be on that website as well. Now, I've held it back too much. I don't think it's quite finished yet. I might finish it off during the week. I probably will finish it off during the week, or at least try my best to anyway. But I've held it back enough now. I started it right before Christmas, and as soon as it gets up and running, the better for me. So 1 week from today, January 26th, come what may, the H, the E, the A to the D, that's right, website will be born. That's right, theheadanthonywalker.weebly.com. More information on that later on in the show. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting week in the world of professional wrestling, so without further ado, ladies and gents, I will kick off this episode of the Wrestling Matters podcast with the Raw review. Right then, you lovely, lovely, lovely people, it's time for the, like I say, I'll kick off now with the Raw review. So, show kicked off this week with, going back to what happened last week, of course, as they always do, and then Cena comes out to adjust the Authority's actions. He gave to the crowd that do they want to see Ziggler back? Do they want to see Ryback back and Eric Rowan? And the crowd say yes, yes, yes. And then they go, does the Authority suck? Yes. Did they all deserve to be fired? No. They want all three men back tonight? Yes, yes, yes. Champ breaks out. Even Cena tries to get a little, what I call it going, hashtag, if you will. Authority sucks and tell us something we don't. Stupid. So he has a plan B. In 2 weeks at the Royal Rumble, he'll face Rollins and Brock for the world title. His plan is simple. He's going to win. The Authority music hits, yada yada yada. Another boring Triple H and Stephanie promo. Apparently Triple H goes, we'll give you the chance to be the hero again. Truth be told, they didn't want to fire those guys last week. They hate doing it. Yawn. So much bullshit every friggin' day. Cena says they talked about it for a few seconds and fired them live on television. Triple H says they didn't it because they keep their promises, unlike Cena. And then Cena got put into a lumberjack match with Mr. Money in the Bank. And the Lumberjacks were Big Show, Kane, Bad News Barrett, Cesaro, Titus O'Neil, Curtis Axel, Tyson Kidd, Fandango, Justin Gabriel, and it was Cena versus Rollins and J&J Security next. Pretty good match to kick off, I thought. But again, it goes back to what I'm saying. These two have had good matches in the past, but again, it goes back to what I'm saying. It gets on my damn nerves. It really does. It really gets on my nerves that J&J Security have to get involved in these matches. Rollins doesn't need them. Rollins is an excellent wrestler as it is, and WWE's top heel. But he doesn't need them. Anyway, the Lumberjacks attack him before Cesaro hits the Cesaro swing into the barricade. They throw Cena into the ring. He avoids the curb stomp before applying the STF. Kane grabs Rollins' hand before he can tap out. Kane and Cena start a tug of war with Rollins. Rollins kicks Cena away from him. Big Show quickly pulls Cena out of the ring and gives him a knockout punch. Cena actually took a good bump on the floor. Big Show throws Cena back in the ring, and Rollins picks up the victory over him. The Three Stooges are still fired, so to speak. This lumberjack match basically was just a 10-on-1 on Cena, which was pathetic. quite frankly. Rollins celebrates the victory, replays, yada yada yada, and then goes on to the contract signing, which will take place later on tonight. After the break, the Usos and Dean Ambrose are in the office with Stephanie McMahon. She wants to address what happened on SmackDown last Friday. The Usos made some comments on that show about being upset the Authority fired Rowan, Ryback and Ziggler. She says they had everything to do with John Cena and nothing to do with the Authority. Yawn. Jimmy Uso asks if that's it, and there's no punishment. Stephanie says that is all. She then stops them before they leave. Stephanie tells Jimmy to tell his wife she's be competing in a one-arm tie behind her back match. Fucking bullshit fucking matches, I tell you. As for Dean Ambrose, he checked himself out of hospital after his ambulance match. Therefore, she deems him a threat not only to himself. They have the doctors psychologically. If Ambrose doesn't pass the test, then he won't be in the Rumble. The doctor comes in, asks Ambrose to come with him, yada yada yada. The Miz and Mizdow are seen backstage. The Miz talks about his Golden Globes after party. Miz's close personal friend, George Clooney. Actually, Miz's close personal friend, he wishes he had George Clooney. Just basically rapping about himself, not much there. Dean Ambrose is in the office with that psychologist. The doctor asks if he knows why he is here. Ambrose gets really close and asks if it's been because he's a bad boy. That's what the doctor wants to find out. He wants to know what makes Ambrose clock tick. I think there's a lot of people that want to ask that question. He asks Ambrose to sit back and reflect. The doctor starts talking to Ambrose, and Ambrose stares at the psychologist. After the break, tag match, or six-man tag match, if you will. Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Ambrose versus the New Day. Pretty good six-man tag. Why is Tyson Kidd and Cesaro tag teaming with Ambrose? I do not know. I know it's because of what happened last week, but I wouldn't tag team with Rose anyway. I don't know about these New Day guys, at first, but they're starting to grow on me as a team. I mean, these guys work well as a team. They gel well as a team. Hell, I was even impressed with them on when they had this rematch on I believe it was this rematch on main event as well. Which New Day won like they did in this one. I mean, I was impressed with them. Wood punches Kidd before scaring Rose off the apron. Biggie clotheslines Rose outside. Woods tags in Kingston, and they hit the combination backbreaker top rope elbow for the win. So, I mean, like I said, it was a good six-man tag. I mean, these guys are working well as a team. Do I get the whole thing? No, but it's the same old regurgitated crap, if you ask me. But hey, it's working for them. Word on the day, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, word on the day was expected that a certain legend finally goes into the Hall of Fame. Macho Man Randy Savage, back where he going where he belongs at last. And then it promotes the contract signing, but more about that later. Promoting the January 19th Raw Reunion show, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and Scott Hall are expected to be there. It's just a shame Kevin Nash won't be. Big Show comes out and insults the crowd and Roman Reigns, bringing the promo on Reigns, and then starts ranting about Reigns and talks about his past and everything, and the boring chant starts, and the crowd get on Big Show's case, and then Roman Reigns hits. He makes his way to ringside. As Reigns gets in the ring, Big Show exits and walks back up the ramp. This, at the end of the day, is like Jack and the Beanstalk. Reigns then retells the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Like I said, it turns into a Jack and the Beanstalk story because of Reigns. Only he replaces Jack's name with his own, and in the story, Reigns punches the giant in the mouth. Wham bam, thank you, man. The giant's teeth are down his throat. Reigns says the giant cowardly walked away and provided he is the only loser in the entire kingdom. The whole part of being a loser is just by is addressed to Big Show. Believe that. Luke Harper makes his way to the ring to fight Roman Reigns. Bell sounds. Harper powers him into the corner before punching him away. Reigns soon turns him around and hits him with some right hands. Reigns sends him out into the corner before hitting a Samoan drop. Reigns sends up for the spear, but Harper rolls up the ring. Commercial break ensues. Come back to the match, and then towards the end, Big Show just tries to distract him by throwing a chair at ringside. Harper goes for a slam, but Reigns fights out. Reigns hits the ropes, and Harper catches him with a spinning side slam and a near fall. Harper goes for a powerbomb, but Reigns gets out and hits a Superman punch. Harper rolls near the apron to recover. Reigns gets out and stares at the Big Show before hitting his apron dropkick. Reigns punches Harper before Big Show distracts him. Harper super kicks him, coming back into the ring for a near fall. Harper sets up a discus clothesline, but Reigns spears him and gets the 1-2-3. Big Show immediately runs into the ring and attacks Reigns. Following the victory, Big Show pulls him up to his feet and hits a vicious knockout punch. The crowd loudly boos him as he walks off with a grin on his face. And then they play footage of Cena losing to Rollins earlier on. Miz and Mizdow are seen backstage. Miz talks about winning the Best Picture at the Golden Globes. Actually, let me rephrase that. Miz talks about wishing he won the Best Picture at the Golden Globes Award. More bullshit. Oh my God, split these two up already. Naomi will have one arm tied behind her back when she faces Alicia Fox. Just a regular old Divas match, basically, with an authority twist. Yawn. The Reign was 1 out of 2. Dean Ambrose is seen backstage with a psychologist. The doctor wants to do some image therapy. Ambrose jokingly yells Thursday, like the SmackDown commercials. The doctor holds up a picture of Triple H. Ambrose responds, irritable bowel syndrome. That's what he responds at. A picture of Seth Rollins shows up. He says scumbag. A picture of Roman Reigns shows up. He says brother. Kane is shown. Ambrose responds toothpaste. A picture of Hacksaw Jim Duggan is shown. Ambrose responds ho. Stephanie McMahon is shown. Ambrose yells ho. Oh God. And then the commercial break. Brock Lesnar's music hits and Brock Lesnar enters the ring. Heyman and promo about his triple threat match and being the world champion and having to deal with this triple threat match and talks about the contract signing as well. Nothing much. Again, and then after that they promote the expected announcement of Macho Man being a part of the 2015 Hall of Fame. Jey Uso versus Miz. Nothing much to talk about. Basically, this is just still refreshed from the feud. Miz avoids a super kick. Mizdow tries to pull Miz out of the ring, but Jimmy pulls Mizdow out. Miz uses the distraction to hit the skull-crushing finale for the win. Just a regular old match, basically. They announced that the WWE Network will debut in the UK and Ireland next Monday, i.e. today. So be sure to get that. Daniel Bryan's coming out next. Comes out and talks about WrestleMania and his future and that. Stephanie tries to get involved and Daniel Bryan uses the ho from Dean Ambrose chant. Go on, Bennett. And Kane's music hits and then all hell breaks loose and Kane and Bryan get into a fight to set up their match on SmackDown. Because as we all know, there was some unfinished business because it was Kane that put Bryan out in the first place. So obviously Daniel wants a piece of Kane. And what do you know? He's going to get his wish. SmackDown. Thursday, which I will talk about later on, he got his wish. So, more on that later. Rollins and J&J Security are backstage, and they're talking about the match between the triple threat match and that with Rollins and the contract signing. Lesnar gets in his face. Paul Heyman shows up with Lesnar, and Lesnar gets in Rollins' face and calls him a weasel. He says, "You're the guy that weaseled into my match." Because as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, Lesnar owes Rollins a beating from Night of Champions. Again, more on the contract signing later on. Page with Natalya and Tyson Kidd versus Brie and Nikki Bella. Again, another regular Divas match. Yawn. Paige fights up and headbutts her a few times. I'm guessing that's Brie. Before ducking a clothesline and super kicking her for near fall. Tyson Kidd gets on the apron for some reason and distracts Paige. Brie rolls up and wins. Paige then gets out the ring and basically slaps the taste right out of Tyson Kidd's mouth. Lo and behold, walks off. Highlights John Cena seen backstage in the locker room, quite pensive. He'll be in the ring for the contract signing and that. Highlights were showing up Bray Wyatt in the ambulance match. Bray Wyatt is seen backstage. Wyatt says 30 souls will enter the Royal Rumble match. 29 souls will fall. It will take time to realise that we're not in Wonderland anymore. Alice, whatever it is. He does next will change the world forever. Some will laugh, some will cry. Maybe will be too shocked by what they see. They'll have no choice but to sit out or sit there in silence while the animal in the cage will be set free. No man will be immune to his wrath. Wyatt says, please. I'm going to get to the best part of Raw in a second, but I just want to go to the two local wrestlers versus Ascension. These two Road Warrior wannabes are still fighting local wrestlers, and again, it's the only time I've ever agreed with JBL. Apparently Booker T and Michael Cole, Booker T especially, were trying to justify these two by wrestling, saying that they were impressive in that. Yes, they are former NXT Tag Team Champions, but they're on the big shows now. They're on Raw and SmackDown, and they haven't proved anything. WWE's put these two, oh yeah, we're going to push him. We're going to push him to the moon. Oh yeah, we just shot two local guys in. Fuck's sake. And Booker T's sitting there at ringside trying to justify these two, saying that they're awesome and they're impressive. Put these two in the ring against some competition, and let's see how impressive they are. If not, send them back to the NXT. But again, another boring All Ascensions match. Now I'll go back one to the main holy grail of Monday Night Raw. Finally, by God, finally, WWE are putting the Macho Man Randy Savage in the Hall of Fame where he belongs, where he should have been years ago. But finally, the deal's been done, and WWE are putting this man, probably one of the all-time greats, probably one of the greatest of all time, Macho Man Randy Savage, one of a kind. Ooh yeah, going where the hell he belongs, in the Hall of Fame. Like I say, he should have been in it a long time ago. They probably should have put him in round about when Hogan was put in, but that never happened. But they're finally putting him in, and I couldn't be more happy. If you ask me, forget the rest of Raw. This was just the best part of Raw for me. I didn't care about any of the matches or the contract signing or whatever the fuck. This is what it was all about on Raw. This is what made Raw great, because they finally put this guy in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. And boy, since Hogan, does anyone deserve it more than him? No. Again, commercial break. Hogan, Flair, Michaels and Hall are scheduled for the Raw reunion. It's supposed to be that, but obviously that's not going to happen. That's going to happen next on January 19th, which is tonight. Kevin Nash would have been there, but due to personal reasons, he ain't going to be. So the thought of the NWO, we'll have to wait for another day. Now Rusev comes out and talks about how Riot was fired and how he was supposed to face Riot tonight and whatever. And he talks about what he's going to do to the Royal Rumble when he throws 29 men or 28 men, as he put it, over the top rope. But as he was doing that, Dean Ambrose music hits, and he makes his way to the ring. To a nice reception from the crowd, Ambrose punches away at him, and as soon as he gets in the ring, and Ambrose drop kicks Rusev out of the ring, Rusev flips out. All hell breaks loose. Now, this was kind of a bullshit match for me, no matter about the knee or anything like that, because nobody wants to see this. Ambrose gave a good fight to Rusev in this match, as he always does, no matter who it is against. But because of his knee injury that he suffered at the ambulance match, the referee had to stop the match and call it off, and the winner by referee's decision was Rusev. Ambrose argued with the referee over the call, but turning into a thrust kick from Rusev, and the Russian flag waved, yada yada yada. It was just complete garbage. I mean, the way WWE booking this guy, I mean, they book him in it like this, have Rusev beat Ambrose, if that's how it's going to be, but don't do it like this. I mean, there's this fiasco with the doing with Ambrose, and then there was the bullshit at TLC with the fucking exploding monitor. Oh god, 1993 called the one they're ending back. And when I said 1993, guys, I'm talking King of the Ring 93 with the Hogan fiasco at Yokozuna. Jeez. Anyway, they announced what it was going to be, like I said earlier on. Kane faced Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. More on that later. And then the WWE World Heavyweight Championship contract signing, which ended in a fight. They're all thinking about the plans, all talking about the plans of what they were going to do to each other. Lesnar suplexed Rollins, and then as he was suplexing Rollins, he turns around and gets into an AA from Cena through the table. That's right, Cena AA'd Lesnar through the table, and as Lesnar got up, Cena got up, he got curb stomped by an opportunist, so to speak. Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins done exactly what he did to Lesnar, as what he did to him at Night of Champions. He curb stomped Lesnar. Seth Rollins is standing at the top of the stage with the Authority. Brock Lesnar and John Cena are still down in the ring. Lesnar has a few cuts on his forehead. Rollins music plays. Show ends. Is Rollins being dubbed for the world title? Apparently I've been hearing a lot about this. Before I go to the rating, apparently I've been hearing a lot about this, that it's going to be Rollins, Cena winning the championship at Triple Threat at Royal Rumble, Lesnar winning, and it's going to be Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble, yada 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 yada. I guess we'll find out, won't we? As for the review, I would say 5.5. It was still an average Raw. No, you know what? Sack the 5.5. I'm giving it a 6. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. That's right, 6 out of 10. And the reason why it's getting a 6 out of 10, for the fact that Macho Man is going in the Royal Rumble. It's the Hall of Fame, rather, where he belongs. And I'll give Raw the benefit of the doubt, and WWE the benefit of the doubt, just for putting Savage in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. Because that's what it's all about. That was the best part of Raw by far, for me. 6 out of 10 for the sake. If it wasn't for that, it would have been 4 out of 10 or 4.5 out of 10. Okay, but I will say this though, or 5 out of 10 even. But I will say this though, this week's Raw was 10 times better than I think it was 2 weeks ago. The 2 weeks Raw, where they fired Ziggler, or was it last week's? I don't know. I've lost track. That Raw last week, the Raw where they fired Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan, was fucking bullshit. Like I said, the ambulance match was the only thing worth talking about on that show. But I will give WWE the benefit of the doubt. I will give them a 6 out of 10 for this one, for this Raw, and not for the whole show. Because if it was just for the whole show, it would have probably got a 4.5 or maybe a 5 out of 10. But I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 for the fact that Savage is going in the Hall of Fame where he fucking belongs. Question is, will The Undertaker be next to join? Guess we'll have to wait and see. And with that being said, that is the end of the Raw review. That is the end of me talking about Raw. And after this quick little promo, or commercial, or whatever the heck you want to call it, I am going to be talking about SmackDown and TNA and anything else that is relevant in the world of professional wrestling. So, stay tuned after this.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kenny Killer and the Gal Dem Sugar Shugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Welcome back to the Wrestling Matters Podcast. Now it's time for the SmackDown main points. SmackDown kicked off this week with Kane versus Daniel Bryan. SmackDown started its Thursday night's tenure off on the right foot, as Daniel Bryan opened the show in great spirits during his in-ring interview with one of SmackDown's new announcers, Byron Saxton. Kane soon emerged, however, with Big Show and the Authority in tow. After being sidelined for 8 months, the Beard showed little to no ring rust in the match against the Director of Operations. Unfortunately, Yes Man, hellish clash with his former Team Hell No partner was interrupted by J&J Security, forcing the referee to call for the bell and setting the bearded superstar up for a potential post-match assault at the hands of the Authority. Luckily, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns arrived on the scene, prompting Triple H to make a huge 6-man tag match, pitting Bryan, Reigns, Ambrose against Rollins, Big Show and Kane. More on that in a little bit. The Miz put his stunt double Damien Mizdow to good use in the mixed tag team match, allying the Hollywood duo with Alicia Fox against WWE Tag Team Champions Usos and Naomi. The self-proclaimed A-lister pushed his popular sidekick in front of the super kick from Jimmy Uso, allowing the movie star to nail the Samoan Warrior with scroll-crushing finale for the victory. Will we witness the ending at the Royal Rumble when the Miz and Mizdow challenge the Usos for the tag titles? Guess we'll see. I hope not. Paul Heyman, after his client WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar got curb stomped to conclude Raw, Paul Heyman was clearly in the less cheerful mood when he walked into the SmackDown ring. Nevertheless, a fired up Seth Rollins was not afraid to cut off Lesnar's advocate before announcing that he was ready to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase right then and there. The only problem was that the Beast Incarnate was not in the building, so Mr. Money in the Bank instead contemplated delivering a curb stomp to a concerned Heyman. Somehow, the Beast Incarnate's outspoken mouthpiece managed to talk his way out of another jam with a statement about the unpredictable future of the Authority's rule and his own rise in power. The Bella Twins got a taste of their own medicine when Brie Bella attempted to distract Natalya on the ring apron backfired, as the Bella Twin held the attention of the Queen of Hearts and the referee Paige smacked a fallen Nikki Bella. The strike allowed Natalya to lock in the sharpshooter, forcing the Divas champion to tap out. Bad News Barrett defended the Intercontinental Championship against Sin Cara. Yes, you heard me correct, Sin Cara. After defeating Bad News Barrett in a non-title match on SmackDown last week, Sin Cara received an Intercontinental Championship match against the British Brawler on SmackDown's return to the Thursday night. The high-flying superstar pushed the title holder to the limit at one point, demonstrating remarkable power by lifting the 240-plus pound superstar straight off the mat into a powerful slam. Unfortunately, the masked superstar, he was unable to hit his signature senton bomb, allowing the former bare knuckle boxer the opportunity to connect with the Bad News Bull Hammer elbow in midair for the victory to retain the title. Thank God. You just knew SmackDown's huge main event featuring Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, Big Show and Kane would be a highlight reel of action, and the 6-man tag did not disappoint. Among the chaotic contest, in fact, the Beard put an exclamation point on his in-ring return by hitting Corporate Kane with a running knee to pick up the victory. But COO Triple H just couldn't let the WWE Universe end the evening on a high note, as he announced that next Thursday night on SmackDown, the Yes Man will battle Corporate Kane in the rematch, and if Bryan loses, he will relinquish his spot in the Royal Rumble. Same bullshit from the Authority different day. And that is the end of the SmackDown main points. I will be back after this with TNA's points. That's right, TNA's main points will be on after this, so stay tuned. Be sure to listen to the Wrestling Matters podcast each and every Monday, only on Mixcloud, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, Podomatic, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans, we talk about Monday Night Raw, we shoot the breeze, we pipe bomb, and we tell it like it is. Tune in each and every Monday for the Wrestling Matters podcast, where wrestling matters. Welcome back to the Wrestling Matters podcast, and it's time now for the TNA main points. That's right. The network season premiere of Impact Wrestling on Destination America came from New York City. The show's new format is front and center and focused on MVP's new crew. That's right. MVP enters the ring with his family, Kenny King, Samoa Joe Low Key. MVP dubs his family the Beatdown Clan, or BDC, or the Clan. He introduces Eric Young, the man who betrayed his best friend. Before EY takes the mic, it is announced that EY, Eric Young, and Bobby Roode will compete in a no disqualification match in the main event. Eric Young says that as champion, he took care of Bobby Roode, and that made sure his brother got a title shot. EY asks where his shot was during Roode's title reign. He asks where Roode's concern was when he was injured. Young says he'll extract his revenge in their match tonight. MVP introduces Lashley. Kurt Angle answers instead. Angle condemns the actions of the Beatdown Clan and Eric Young. Angle says he can make everyone in the ring tap out. Samoa Joe gets in Angle's face. They collide. Angle challenges Joe to a match. Speaking of that match, Joe dominates Angle throughout the beginning of the match, but Angle catches Joe with 3 German suplexes to create a moment of separation. Joe battles back quickly with a stiff kick to Kurt Angle's side head. Joe finds himself in the ankle lock, but he powers out and drops Angle into his surgically repaired neck. Angle comes back once again and is able to catch Joe with another ankle lock. Joe refuses to tap out, rolling through, sending Angle into the referee. Joe seizes the moment and catches Angle with a low blow and the real naked choke. Angle taps out. Post-match, the rest of the Beatdown Clan begin the assault on Angle. Bobby Roode comes down with a chair to make the save. Bobby Roode says he was screwed out of the world title. He questions why Eric Young would throw away 15 years of friendship. Roode says the title is the only thing in his business that he loves. He says the ring is his home and he lives for professional wrestling. Roode says tonight is not about professional wrestling, it's about payback. He vows to get revenge on it against Eric Young. More on that later. I'm not going to talk about the tag team match, the number 1 contenders tag team match with the Wolves and the Hardys. You just have to go and see that for yourself. The Hardys won, but go and check that match out yourself. It's an epic match. The winners get a shot at the Revolution, and it's just an epic match in its own right. I mean, these two were part of the 3-way series between these two teams and Team 3D, so you knew it was going to be a great match. Not their best match, but it was awesome nonetheless, so I suggest you go and check that out. But congratulations to the Hardys. They will get their shot at the Revolution for the Tag Team Championships. The It Factor Bobby Roode clashes with Eric Young on the entrance ramp. Immediately, Roode launches Young face first into the steel guardrail. Roode assault continues until EY catches Roode with a hot right fist. EY sends Roode into the guardrail. Roode is rolled into the ring. Eric Young finds a steel chair beneath the ring, and from there his assault is vicious. EY attempts a power driver, but Roode counters. Roode catches Young with an elbow to the face and a well-timed spine buster, but by Roode shifts the momentum. Roode attempts a Roode bomb onto the chair, but EY counters with an irate before sending Roode face first into the steel chair. As Roode stumbles backward, Eric Young catches him with a power drive into the chair for the victory. So much for the revenge. Knockout tag team match. Brooke and Tyrion Terrell versus the Beautiful People. The Beautiful People win that. Post-match, though, Awesome Kong enters the ring. She clotheslines Angelina Love. Shoulder checks Velvet Sky. Kong delivers an implant buster to Angelina and chokeslam to DJ Z. Havoc rushes from the back to confront Kong. Security separates Kong and Havoc. Are these two ever going to have a match? Oh yeah, and Ethan Carter III challenges Jeremy Borash to a match this coming week on Impact rather. Borash eventually accept. Can you say train wreck? X Division Championship. It was a rematch, basically, with Low-Ki and Austin Aries, and Low-Ki regains the championship. Basically, it was the BDC, the Beatdown Clan, screwing, basically, Austin Aries out of the championship. And Lashley makes his way to the ring. The Beatdown Clan are in the center of the ring. MVP says that tonight they've gotten everyone's attention. He says the World Heavyweight Championship has come home. Then he introduces the Destroyer Lashley. MVP points to Lashley and says the fans should worship and respect him because he made. MVP says the title belongs to everyone, every member of the Beatdown Clan. Lashley disagrees, saying he's the champ and that the title is his. MVP says the title is theirs, that Lashley owes it to them all because they put it on him. Lashley turns his back on the Beatdown Clan, and tensions rise as MVP says he'll be merciful as they go their separate ways. The Beatdown Clan assaults Lashley. MVP smashes the title across Lashley's face, hosting it into the air after Lashley took a drive-by boot, and the Beatdown Clan hijacked the World Championship. And MVP says it doesn't belong to Lashley. It belongs to the Beatdown Clan. Tune in to Impact this week to find out what happens next. And with that being said, that is the end of the Impact main points, the Impact review. And coming up next is the main talking points in the world of professional wrestling, as well as more information regarding my website. And a little quick promotion as well for anybody who lives or who can get to the Middlesbrough area, my hometown. So stay tuned. See you in a bit. Be sure to follow the Wrestling Matters Podcast Twitter site right now at www.twitter.com/WM Podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. If you like the Wrestling Matters Podcast, why not check out the Wrestling Matters Podcast Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/WM Podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Hello everyone, Anthony Walker here. January 26th on the website. That's right, my website is finally born. My website, theheadanthonywalker.weebly.com. It will be born January 26th. Make sure you view it and check it out for all the good stuff. Podcast episodes, the Wrestling Matters channel is going to be on there as well. Videos from that, Games Matter channel, my other projects, and various other good stuff also you can listen to audio from the Wrestling Matters podcast. Not only that, some interview audio as well will be going up there as well. Be sure to check it out. January 26th, next week Monday, January 26th, the Wrestling Matters podcast comes to a website. My website, theheadanthonywalker.weebly.com. That's right, your favourite podcast host gets his own website. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. I'm going to go through a quick, some quick stories now and give my views on it. Apparently there is heat in WWE. Apparently Dolph Ziggler's got some heat. A verified WWE insider who has broken stories in the past wrote on Reddit that Dolph Ziggler's recent improved comedy booking which was booked separate from WWE, was the main reason why he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Wade Barrett on Raw a few weeks back. Whatever. And apparently also reported that backstage morale is at an all-time high on SmackDown side of things. Many superstars are very happy about the move back to Thursday nights. There's a feeling that the move will bring even more exposure and offer a better platform to sell the WWE Network. Two ex-WWE superstars, or WWE stars, are filing a lawsuit against WWE. Former WWE stars Vito Lograsso, which is Big Vito, Evan Singleton, Adam Mercer in Developmental, have filed a class action concussion lawsuit against WWE in the state of Pennsylvania, and they are being represented by the same guy who represented Billy Jack Haynes, who also has a lawsuit out against WWE. The complaints from Haynes and the two guys appear to be virtually except for short paragraphs about the complaints. Singleton complaints mentions wrestling WWE superstar Eric Rowan in developmental, and Singleton claims after approximately 50 minutes during which he sustained multiple traumas, he suffered a serious head injury during a match with Eric. WWE cleared him to continue wrestling after rest time and downplayed his injury. So it's just a normal thing, and they're claiming that WWE didn't care about the injuries and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about that. It's just same old stuff. Lawsuits don't mean crap. Ex-ZZW superstar, top indie star and former ZZW heavyweight champion Biff Busick, will be getting a tryout with WWE at the Performance Center in Orlando next week, according to a verified WWE insider. And that WWE NLive's Gabe Sapolsky is said to be furious about possible losing Biff. Gabe is being supportive of his indie talent signing with WWE in the past, but apparently he was irate over the news of Biff possibly going to WWE. Why, I don't know. Another talent coming to WWE. Be sure to look out for him. Gathering his tryout goes good. Independent wrestler Heather Lynn did a ring announcing at the NXT Live event in Tampa last night. So it appears she may have been signed a WWE developmental deal. Heather Lynn. Look out for that name. Jeff Hardy signs a new deal with TNA, as well as others. TNA have announced that Manic, Kenny King, Gail Kim, Jeff Hardy and Awesome Kong have all signed new contracts to keep them with TNA. They also announced that they have officially signed British Boot Camp winner Mark Andrews. Congratulations to Mark. My opinion, that should have been Rampage Brown. Nothing against Mark Andrews, he's a hell of a talent and he'll boost their X division up to a T. But in my opinion, I thought British Boot Camp winner should have been Rampage Brown. But hey, TNA's loss is British wrestling's game, no doubt. Apparently, tonight's Raw, which is the Raw reunion, X-Pac will be there. So that'll be very interesting to see. Kevin Nash would be there as well, but he's got problems. He's got personal issues involving his family and lawsuits and over assaulting his son. So that's the reason why he pulled out, and his Legends deal's been suspended until this gets sorted out. TNA tries to sign top WWE Hall of Famer. We noted before that WWE officials wanted former WWE champion, TNA officials rather, wanted former WWE champion Alberto Del Rio to debut on last Wednesday's Impact Wrestling premiere on Destination X, but obviously that didn't work out. They also wanted WWE Hall of Famer Edge, who had just appeared on WWE TV the week before. Edge and TNA didn't make it too serious negotiations and never discussed money or anything like that. The situation was described as TNA putting feelers out, but the fish didn't bite, so to speak. TNA wanted Edge to be the new TNA authority figure, as Kurt Angle resigned from his position because he returned to active competition. Same shit, different day. Edge is WWE. Can't see him going to TNA anytime soon, no matter what. But never say never in the business, but I still can't see it happening. Alberto Del Rio has been added to another Raw Ring of Honor event, so be sure to check that out. Also, he's been added to April 4th's Ring of Honor show in San Antonio, Texas, and he's now booked for January 30th, 31st, March 1st, and April 4th in Ring of Honor, so be sure to check that out. That's huge for Ring of Honor. That is huge. Big time huge for Ring of Honor. According to this, confirmed participants for the Rumble match are Kane, Big Show, Goldust, Stardust, Bray Wyatt, Bad News Bear, Dean Ambrose, Rusev, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. Might be a few more in the pipeline, including Randy Orton, from what I've heard. But we'll tune in on January 25th to see what happens with that. WWE has added Kevin Nash back to Monday Night Raw's reunion special from Dallas. Nash was pulled from the event after WWE suspended his Legends deal following his domestic incident with his son in December. As noted, Nash's deal was reinstated this week when the charges were dropped. So the charges were dropped and he's back. So possible NWO New World Order reunion in the pipelines. Will they get to do the New World Order, the NWO reunion after all? The NWO one night deal that we're going to plan before this incident? I blooming hope so. NWO versus Authority. That's pretty cool to me. I could dig it. I could definitely dig it. And that is the end of the news, reviews and opinions in the world of professional wrestling. Now, before I go, as you heard as well earlier on, and as you probably heard during the commercial as well, January 26th, my website is up and running. I will publish it no matter what. I don't care. No matter what, my website will be up and running. January 26th. I have no idea what time I'm going to publish it. Probably be about 9 a.m. or whenever I'm available. So it's going to be published on that day though. January 26th, my website, theheadanthonywalker.weebly.com, will be published. So make sure you check that out. I will promote it as best I can. I will promote it on my Wrestling Matters Podcast Facebook page, facebook.com/WM Podcast, the Twitter at WM Podcast. Help follow me on Twitter at Tony_Walker. Check me out on YouTube as well, and other Podomatic and Stitcher Radio and whatever the fuck after that as well. So it's going to get promoted, so be sure to check it out as well. Also, as well, if you're in the Middlesbrough area, or you can get to the Middlesbrough area, March 27th, Friday night, March 27th, at the Middlesbrough Town Hall, All Action Wrestling will be presenting a show. What they'll be presenting, I don't know. We'll find out March 27th. But Friday night, March 27th, All Action Wrestling will be coming back to the Town Hall to present a show. They will be presenting the show there, and I know this because I'm going to be there. So if you guys are in the area, if you guys listen to the podcast and are going to that show, if you're in the Middlesbrough area, or you can get to the Middlesbrough area, get yourself to the Town Hall, check this show out. I'm going to be there. I'll be in the front row. Yes, you heard me. Front row. Yeah, if you're in there, check out some wrestling action, and according to my ticket, they spelled wrestling wrong. Town Hall, so they're going to love that. Yep. Wrestling, which is spelled, it's WRESTLING. They've mixed the R and the E around. The God's honest truth. They've spelled it WERSTLING. Yeah, good job, Town Hall. But yeah, if you're there that night, if you listen to the podcast, or if you listen to my CVFM stuff as well, I'll be promoting this on the CVFM podcast. If you're there that night, come and say hello to me. I'll be in the front row. I'll probably be wearing my SCW t-shirt, so be sure to check it out. Yep, I'll be definitely wearing my SCW t-shirt that night, probably, hopefully, all being well. So, like I say, you won't be able to miss me. Just look for an ICW shirt. I'll probably be the only one wearing it that night. Yeah, it should be fun, and don't be afraid to come and say hi, say hello. We'll talk wrestling. You can hang out. I've got no problems with that. I mean, I'll talk wrestling with anyone. I'll talk it all. I'll do it all night long. Makes no difference with that with me. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is the H, the E, the A, the D, the Hair Anthony Walker. This has been another episode of the Wrestling Matters Podcast. Until next week. And by the way, next week I got a guest on, and we're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk Royal Rumble predictions as well. I will get her Royal Rumble predictions. Some say she's controversial. I say she's cool. Roxy will be here next week, so be sure to check that out. Listen to the podcast and get her and listen out for her predictions for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And also, don't forget, today, sign up, UK and Ireland. The WWE Network has arrived at last. So be sure to check that out. And I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, my days of buying pay-per-views now on Sky are dead. Apparently, I've just found out that Royal Rumble is now £20 in the UK. And I know why it's £20 in the UK. Nothing needs to be explained to me. But it's now £20 in the UK, so I guess my days of buying pay-per-views are dead. God bless the WWE Network. Finally has arrived in WWE, in the UK rather. So, with that being said, ladies and gents, my name is the Head Anthony Walker. You've been a beautiful audience. Thank you so much for listening. Keep supporting the podcast. Keep showing the love for the podcast. And listen out for my website next week as well. Or look out for it rather. And until next week, peace out.